T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Maybe you should pull the fucking trigger.
Pull the trigger. Ain't nobody gonna do for you.
We're cranking up the lights now, so everyone can see. It's all happening right now. We're gonna make you believe. It's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to get crazy. It's about to get...
Now that's how you supposed to shoot. From now on, that's how you shoot. Whoa!
Welcome to Sunday Recap. I'm your host, JB. Present in the studio with me is Chris.
A.K.A. Chris Cerezo, a.k.a. the magician. Boom, baby. I almost slipped on that one, huh?
See, I'm keeping you on your feet, brother. I'm keeping you on your feet, man. How you doing today, man?
All right,
Welcome back to Sunday Recap, man. My goodness, do we have a show for you guys?
Yes, sir.
Number one, I'd like to say thank you to all of our sponsors. Let's see if we could go ahead and get them on the screen real quick so you guys can see who we're talking about.
Yes.
So we have Drew Estate.
We have Coyaba Cigars.
We have Espinosa Cigars.
We have Cigar Oasis.
We have Sean Christian.
And we have DC.
Yeah. So there we have it. So now that we got all our pleasantries out the way, we're going to bring on our first guest. And then that way we can get this show started real quick. So let's bring on this first guy right here. Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
How you doing, fellas? What's going on?
Good. If you can tell everybody your name and where you're located.
My name is Roy Vieira, and I'm located in Granbury, Texas.
All right, that's all we need from you right now. Let's go ahead and bring on another person. Let's go ahead and get him on the screen. What's going on, good sir?
How are you? I don't know. You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, because I listen to some I don't know weird sounds, and you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you perfect.
Yes. Okay, now it's better. You did something good with the sound. I don't know. I don't know, but now I'm in the game now. How are you?
Okay. So number one, if you could give everybody your name, just your name, and where you from, sir. Manny, can you hear us?
Yeah, it's something I don't know. Let me try now because you heard me now, but I didn't hear you before.
Okay, if you could give us your name and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Manny Iriarte. I'm from Santa Clara, Cuba.
All right. So, welcome to number one. Welcome to the Iconic Smoker Show. We're here in beautiful Pembroke Pines, in South Florida. Obviously, same as you at the moment. And we are going to be talking to both of you gentlemen about your past, your present, and possibly, if we have the time, a little bit of the future. Can you still hear me?
Absolutely.
Manny's having some issue.
Guys, I don't know what's going on, but they cutting off a lot of times. They cutting off a lot of time. I don't know. I don't know.
It could be you could
You
try.
see, when you started talking, Jeremiah, it's just something. I don't know. Maybe you heard me very well.
Yeah, we hear you perfect.
Yeah, we hear you
No?
fine.
I can hear you.
Okay,
I don't
maybe
know.
maybe are you on Wi-Fi? Maybe try getting closer to your network.
Maybe that.
Yeah.
Okay,
it
let
could-
me move because I'm
or
the
check
Wi-Fi is
your Wi-Fi.
perfectly.
Yeah, or check your Wi-Fi. But in the meantime,
Let me see. What a second. I'm very excited with that, but this is damn. See,
Guys, this is the funniest
you hear
thing
me
ever.
now?
yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay,
Yeah, we
now
hear you
now
We hear you
I'm
perfect.
listening to you very well.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So what happened is number one, Roy, I'd like to go over your history really quick, and let's talk about your start, how you got started, not in the cigar industry, but just in life in general, because you've worked in insurance and you've done a lot of different things, and so I just want to get a brief, just a little brief overview, so people can know where you came from and where you're at now.
Well, I'll make it pretty quick. It's pretty easy. My past has been basically only two things prior to the start of this incredible endeavor that I'm in now. I worked for, I think, two insurance companies in my lifetime. I started in the insurance industry when I was 18 years old. Started up the corporate ladder. I think my first job was in the mailroom of the insurance company, and then I was getting married. I think it was 6 months into that. So I never wanted to stay in the mailroom or stay at that level. So I just grew up that corporate ladder that a lot of people like to do. I did that from mailroom all the way to a head underwriter to marketing. And then marketing was basically all about sales to the insurance agents. And I quickly became, when I started at pretty much the bottom, I think at the end of the first year, I was the number one producer for the company. And that's pretty much maintained the same way. And then the company that I just left right now, which was incredibly painful to do because I have a lot of history there and my heart was there, was a company out of Michigan named Conifer Insurance Company.
Yeah.
They basically bought the company that I used to work for. And I was the only one that they took from that company. There was actually three people that they took. I was the only one that survived. And I was with them for so long. I feel like they're like my brothers. I know them so very well. Jim Petkoff, Andy Petkoff, Nick Petkoff, and then Matt Weber as well. These guys are like my family. They still are. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then June of last year, this started.
Nope. Stop it right there. We're stopping right there, good sir. I know you can go, man. I know you're like the Energizer Bunny, bro.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So Manny, So Manny, for you, it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna bring. I have surprises for the both of you guys. But Manny, I want you know where I want to start, Manny. I'm gonna start here. I need you to look at the screen very carefully for me. All right. Let's start here.
Oh man.
1974 in Cuba.
Wow.
Let's start here, Manny. Tell me a little bit about this moment right here.
Me cogió fuera de base. So he gave me out of my. The last thing that I expect was that it was I was 4 years old. It was a beautiful moment that I remember with a lot of nostalgia from Cuba. That's time with my father, my mom, everything together. Everything is very different in perspective because imagine I'm 4 years old. Everything is colors. Everything is happiness. We don't know at that time. We didn't know at that time that's what happening. What kind of system we have? Nothing. Zero. It's always this love, family love. This is a special moment that I remember very well. I remember, but not that time because I'm 4 years old, but I always with image, photograph.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. I want you to hold on to that, right? So then what happened is now we so we know 4-year-old Manny, right?
Yeah, we know 4-year-old Manny.
We know 4-year-old Manny. So let's look at this Manny.
Oh,
let's look at 1982
Wow.
Manny.
So I have 12. Wow. Now
Wow.
now I know what is that this program about. This program about. I like that. I really like that. So it's about human being, right?
Yeah, it's about the human being.
Yeah. So this is very important time of my life because I was representing Cuba with the national team. It was my first trip representing Cuba in the international competition of swimming. It was that time was Mexico City, the Central American and Caribbean swimming tournament of swimming. I was honorary representing Cuba. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, plus you hold even a couple records, or you had a couple records.
Yeah.
Or you set a couple records for
competitive
Cuba,
swimmer,
right?
the competitive swimmers at the national level.
Yeah. When I was 12, because in Cuba the categories run with 2 years, 12, 14, 16, 18, something like that, right? So that category was 10, 12. So if you represent Cuba in international swimming, it's because you get the first place in the national level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I hold like a 6-7 years, a 25 meter on breaststroke. I remember that. So in that category in the country, I was the best swimmer. So they picked the best each style: breaststroke, butterfly, freestyle. So they get the relay rate, right?
Right.
So I represent an individual competition and the relay rate too. Yeah, I get the third place in the relay, and the individual get the 6th place. Not bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
So moving forward, right?
Yeah. You got something else for you.
We got something here, right? So in 1985,
This is
you were in the 9th grade.
This is 15 years old with my crew right there. Bunch of people are right here in the United States and other countries, couple in Cuba yet. But that time it's a craziness. Because I have two different sides of my life. One side was a social environment. Okay, parties, girls, and another side I have a strict regime of sport. Follow me? So in that two combination, I enjoy a lot. So that is part of my real team, my real swimmer, that we grew up together, we raised together. This is like a family. Yeah, this is very, very, very beautiful picture.
So, so by what I hear, you actually took up competitive swimming because you were diagnosed with asthma or something like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is go back when I was 5, 6 years old. I I get asthma attack more frequently. So it's like a sickness that's living with me. So my mom uh, get a doctor, and the doctor, remember, when you have asthma attack and you have 5, 4, 6 years old, it's very critical for the family, right? Because
Mm.
nobody know it's Cuba. Remember, it's no the advance in health system like we have right here, right?
Yes.
So we went to the doctor a couple of times. The doctor told my mom, "Listen, you have to put this in swimming. If you put in swimming, all the resolved asthma gone." So this is they force me to go to the water that I don't like it. I'm scared to the deep side of the pool. I hate that. Every time that they bring me to the pool, I cry. But my grandmother was the in charge to bring me to the pool every day. So the teacher, okay, I remember perfectly his name. The teacher told me that told my family that he is scared, he cry, but he do everything fast and perfect. It's
Mm.
like I had to do everything fast to the class is gone. Is
Yeah.
to finish before everybody, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So this is what the reason that they started keep pushing me. I never leave the pool. So the rest is history. But it was like that. I didn't go that child that loved the water, loved the adrenaline. No, no. I was I was a chicken.
So you have a friend that you met while you were in Cuba that basically changed your life, right? By the name of Jose Berra Ochoa, right? And
It's
then
just
he did something for you that was so special. He gave you something.
remember I'm talking about 1994, 90. I don't know. I had 24, 28, 29. So he's the Spanish tourist, normal Spanish tourist that he loved the photography on the water.
Mm.
So he went to Cuba a lot of times. So can I say some truth? Everything's true, right? Here is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
truth.
yes.
Okay, I started selling him cigars. I
Oh.
started I started selling cigars that is no, you know, is not too real.
It's Cuban seeded. I know that
Cuban
much.
cider. No, of
Yeah.
course, it's 100% Cuban. It's a
So
hundred
that's
percent
all that
Cuban.
matters. That's all that
So
matters.
so I this is the first approach we have because he have two he have three things. He wanna get married with the Cuban girls. Second, he wanna smoke Cuban cigar, and the third one he wanna go on the water to take pictures and video. This is the his objective in Cuba, right? So I have very close in all of three. so 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 I help him. So when he noticed that I love photography, in the second trip he bring me a Olympus 1973 camera. So and he give it to me. So listen, this is the camera and this is the book. This is the book to you learn a basic thing on photography. But the main thing in photography is the eyes that you have to natural eye has from your DNA, right? So this is good tools to start, right? So I begin doing a lot of things with the camera. I I support my family with that camera.
Mm.
So it was very very nice from him, and he's still very good friend of me. Unfortunately, it's like a 5 6 years that I didn't see him, but I try to keep in contact with him.
So since we're getting sentimental here, I'd like to go ahead and get a cigar, a drink. So the cigar of choice that we're going to be doing
Oh man.
today comes from this box right here. So so the cigar choice we're going to be doing comes from this box right here. The reason we chose this is because even this box, as some people may look at it and think it's simplistic, I'll put it on the screen.
Nah, but that's a beautiful box.
That box right there, by no means is simplistic. There's a lot of character, there's a lot of richness, there's a lot of history, and that 20-year celebration means a lot when it comes to the Fuente, and we'll get into that down the line. So in celebration of that, right? Because I'm one of those guys who I like to celebrate everything the right way.
Wow.
So I have to have this ashtray, which this is
Nobody
first time,
had that.
right? This is going to be the first time I use it, and then and it's important to me because it's signed by the 3 guys who worked on it to have it made.
Wow.
Right?
Nice, beautiful.
So this
Wow.
ashtray will never be for sale. Obviously, as you can see, my name is on the ashtray, so guaranteed you'll never find it for sale. So we'll go ahead and get the cigars out. Chris, go ahead and grab a cigar. You know what? Before you grab the cigar, why don't you get us a drink?
Yeah, let's get a couple of drinks first. Hold on.
So
You have a lot of options right there.
yeah, we do. We do. But so I always carry my cigar in my cigar case. I use Sean Christian in particular right now because I'm able to carry three important things, but 2. Well, I have all 3 here. So I have my lighters, right, which is the Forbidden X, right, the 20th. So I'll go ahead and put those down. And then I think Chris picked the drink. You got any glass for us? Because we don't got any glass.
Yeah.
On the table.
Also, since we're bringing out, everything OpusX Fuente, why don't we bring out our Fuente glasses? One for you, one for him.
So we're gonna use this today.
So we're gonna use these glasses today.
I'm gonna send it to you some stuff. Roy, taking notes.
I got you.
So the reason we chose this particular set is because Manny, this was the first set. This cigar, this humidor, this ashtray. This was the first set of items that when I finally got to actually have time to speak to you, because we've seen each other time and time again. We talked about cameras, everything like that. But this was the first cigar that I got to smoke when you actually had a moment to be able to take a break yourself. And then you lit one. And then I remember you had the opportunity to meet Rick Ross at IPCPR, right? And then you had this look on your face. I'll try to get the picture so everybody can see it, but it was one of my favorite pictures that I've gotten to take in my lifetime, right?
I can't wait to see this.
So that being said, while we get set up, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. And actually, the first commercial is usually for our sponsor, but I'm gonna reserve it for the second. I'm gonna use a different commercial this time. And guys, if you can bear with me and trust me, all of this has everything to do with everything. Oh, we're having. I have no idea what's going on today. So I guess it's technical difficulties, but that is one of Manny's first commercials.
Do it again. What? Yeah, same problem at the beginning.
So I was trying to play your commercial from when you were a photographer. So when you first began, you can hear me?
Yeah, no. Now good.
Okay.
Now good.
So what happened is because you came into this country via California. Took you about 21 days. That trip that you took, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I want to hear a little bit about that.
Okay, the real story about my trip to United States. When I count the real story to some people, some of a lot of people told me that we had to write a book, to write something to the future, because it was a professional organization that bring me to this country. Like this was tough. It was a people to bring Cuban to United States in very professional way. Cost a lot, of course, but it was a long trip. I flew to Chile. In Chile, I spent 8 9 days. Then from Chile, I flew to Argentina, Buenos Aires. So I spent like a week in Buenos Aires, and then I go to I landed in Los Angeles, California. So December 7th, 2000. So it was a very complicated, a very complexity way to organize that trip for every single Cuban that they bring it. Some risks, of course. Some people didn't make it. Some of the group had to go to by ground, not by plane, because they don't qualify to go to the plane. So this is a long story. Uh, Finally, I landed in American soil, and I spent from 7th to December 21st in immigration jail, Lancaster, California. So
And that's why we chose to take the cigar and the drink at this time, because to you, friend, salute, because
Salute.
you've made a great change in America and the world, to be exact, and you will always be a person I look up to. Cheers.
thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate it that you having me. We have that you have all here. Roy, my friend, my old friend, and myself, because I don't. Of course, this program is talking about us, but if you give me a chance, I can talk about what I think about you. A little, at least a minute that you give me in the program, right?
We'll definitely allow you your opportunity to do that, because but I want people to understand, like, there's so much to unwrap when it comes to Manny Iriarte, right? Because people say that you're just oh, he was a photographer. He wasn't a photographer. He was a visionary. What
Mhm.
happened is time had to catch up to him because he was so far past it, right? So one of the things I want to ask you is, obviously, right, when you had your first billboard, right, when you first saw that billboard with your work on it, what did you think about that? How'd you feel?
It was, you know what? It was Roy Nova that
Yeah.
it was.
Wow.
Uh, Remember, at the beginning, I work. I think I told you one day to yourself, I work very, very hard. In the sense, is the combination that surviving and show people what I capable to do, and I didn't have time to rest. Okay, I work very, very hard. So I do photograph for the company. I do photograph for the cigar lounge. I do
Yeah,
advertising. I do whatever I do.
you do, right? But what happened is, there was one moment that changed your life. You got gifted a box of cigars, and with that box of cigars, you didn't smoke at that time, and I know that because I know when you had your first cigar, it was with Roy. But we'll talk about that later, right? But you had a box of cigars. You took a guayabera, a hat. You took a and then you found a young lady, and you took a picture, and you
My
started.
ex-wife.
Yes, I use a term, young lady.
Yeah, it was true. It was true. That time is a combination between Roy smoking cigar, learning how use lights in the photograph. That era was everything together, right? So I don't know how can I say. I get the why. Truly, what you read, I get the guayabera for my father-in-law. I get my wife put some Cohiba Lanceros from Cuba that someone from my bring me from Germany. So I put it, and I use the live natural lights that came from the kitchen window. So when I had a shot, of course, that camera was somebody borrowed me the camera. It's not my real camera, right? Nothing right there was mine. Zero. Okay. I using thing. So that pictures we went to Roy and myself went to a cigar lounge in Miami that called Genuine, right? So we showed the picture to the owner, and the owner fell in love with the picture. I was a personal trainer at that time, slash photographer, slash enthusiast of cigar photography. Photography.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. You took a lot of pictures of sporting events as well, like this
yes.
one.
So
Like
no, this is Roy. This is Roy.
I know this is Roy. I know
This
this
is
is Roy. Right. The reason I'm bringing it up is because Roy was doing the Roy would do the like the schools and everything because I got a chance to talk to Roy, and then you would focus on different things as well.
Yeah.
Look at that.
When I was because when I was personal trainer, that guy was a personal trainer too in the same gym.
Yep.
So I remember I had to take pictures wherever to show my vision, right? So in certain way. So this is one side of the vision, sport, lifestyle, a lot of things, right? So continue with the story about that picture of the in the cigar lounge. When the owner told me, so I like that pictures. How much is that? So remember, I have the pictures in the paper 8 by 11, something like that. It's a proof. It's a proof. And they told me I wanted that pictures for my wall. And I say, what is the size that you want? And the guy tell me 60 by 40. 60 by 40 is a big frame. So the guy told me how much everything with frame with everything. So I say, I look in Roy and I say $800. So the guy told me, Roy, it's like this is too much. Bro, nobody know you. $800? It's $100. So the guy told me, okay, do I write the check? Do I have a company? And I say, no, I'm a personal trainer.
Oh my God.
It was true. It was true.
So the reason I have Roy on the show as well is because I'm gonna have to bring Roy back on as well because we're gonna dive deep into Roy as well. But the reason I have Roy here is because I like this show to be like friends, just having a conversation one-on-one, like we're in the backyard, we're all sitting. Same way we do at El Galan when Felix was there and everything like that. So Roy, can attest to everything that you're saying.
Mm.
And just the look of Roy when he nods his head, like, "Yep, that happened." It's amazing,
Thank
you
you.
know, because
It was
it tells us that it's your life, and this guy right here, this is my one of my best friends too, and
Yes.
he knows what happens in my day-to-day life because
Yeah.
we talk on a regular basis. See, with you had an opportunity, right, to actually work for a company called Asp Enterprises, one of the largest leaf cultivation companies in the world, right?
ASP.
And yeah, ASP.
Wow.
And then while working there, you actually met another good friend of yours, Eric Calvino.
Okay,
Cigars.
the truth is, when I was okay, this is the very beginning. So when I was a personal trainer, okay, remember 3 jobs. I was physical education teacher in Miami-Dade Public School.
Mm-hmm.
I was a personal trainer, and I was a enthusiast photographer for a cigar or for whatever. Okay, so when I took that pictures with Roy, with cigar, whatever, so a guy in the gym told me some clients of the gym work with the cigar company.
Mm.
So that guy was Angel Elizalde, one of the most important person in ASP Enterprises. He's a most bigger tobacco grower in the world. So the guy was a client of the gym. So I approached him. I said, I taking pictures of cigars. He told me, show me. I showed the pictures. He called Eric Albino because he know Eric Albino. Eric Albino Cigar Snob magazine is like a 5 years old in that time, right?
Wow.
So he called Eric Albino and told me, listen, they have it right here, a guy, that personal trainer, that took very nice pictures of cigars. So I meet Eric Albino because that.
Wow.
This is the real story. So after that,
So go ahead.
Just out of curiosity,
Go ahead.
because everybody wants to know sometimes. Well, and since Roy's here as well, two heads are always better than one to try to remember something. Do you guys remember what was that first cigar that you guys smoked?
Oh,
Or that
of course,
yeah.
of course,
and what cigar was that?
Puros Indios.
Oh my god! Funny you should say that. Some we were at I really wouldn't say an event, but we were at a get together at Primo's. Some people here know what Primo's is. A liquor store. And a guy brought up that name, and he's like, dude, I can't find that anywhere. I can't find that anywhere. That is so rare to find it. And you mentioning that now is like, wow, that is like, to hear that. I'm like, really?
Let me tell you something, brother. Puros Indios and Rolando Reyes was a legend. The old man, the old man was a legend. Talking about 1990s. Okay, so it was It was one of the strongest company in cigars in that time. It was in Danlí, Honduras. It was so in that time. I started working for every single company. I'm talking about almost 50 companies of cigars that I work. I know everyone. I started in every single company. You mentioned it. So in that time, I was with Roy in his swimming pool of the former house that he had, and he started. Like I told you before, we do several things at the same time. Okay, so we smoke cigar. We try to get some picture of. Remember, I'm taking picture of cigar, but I didn't smoke cigar. right? So Roy was helping me with the lights. With remember, the lights of the lamp of the living room. It was the light that I used for the pictures. It's not professional lights. So in that time, that try to make an atmosphere, try to make a very nice scenes. So after that, we went to the pool, and he smoked already because he smoked already cigars. So he told me, "You have to you start smoking cigar." So I have puros indios. He have everything. So okay, and it's my first cigar, puros indios, green label
Green label.
with the letter in red.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so in 2006, that's when you began doing the photography and the packaging for all these different companies, and then by that time, you had already done about 40 different companies,
No,
right?
no, no, no. In 2006, 2007, I started, right?
Okay, yeah, but over
So
that time frame from 2006 to basically 2013, you did about 40 different companies in the midst of that, right? Just about, give or take. We're using rough estimates here because I didn't live your life, so I got to use some rough estimates, right? So at that point, you start dabbling in graphic designing, the whole 9 yards, and then you win this thing right here.
Wow, that is awesome.
So how did it feel to get that right there?
remember, this was Labo nightclub, IPCPR, 2013, Las Vegas. So Cigar Journal magazine, they're gonna come out with a brand new category to award in that time, that day, that year. So they came out with the R, I don't know what the category R, and I in that time I was very in crescendo, very increased in knowledge about cigar companies because I did a lot of stuff for different brands. So they give me that recognition that was priced for me in that time. Remember, it was my first time that I had to come out in the stage, receive the award, and talk in English.
That's the part I was waiting
I
on.
was fucked up. But it was amazing. I have in my room, and you know what? I'm always say that everything that you have in your life, you have to gain. You have to deserve everything. So when I received that trophy, a lot of people applaud me. A lot of people congratulate me because it's the truth. It's the truth. It was 5, 6 years straight, no stop, traveling the entire Central America, Caribbean with Cigar Snob, all the event, United States, every single state with Eric Albino. So so I received that. I feel good. I feel very good, but because I didn't know, I didn't say that I deserved that. But when you receive something that you're working very hard, they have a lot of taste. Okay, it's different taste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You actually man, there's a lot of pictures in your history. We can't go through all of them. I'll pop up, like, for example, you even did ads like this back then, right?
Wow.
And then you also had pictures of like Eric and a few other guys and everything, you know. And then obviously once you started working with Cigar Snob, uh, with the traveling and everything, things did start to change for you, and then as you went along, you end up meeting somebody who was I guess what we would call fairly important in the industry, right? So this guy right here,
This
Arturo.
is the Carlito Fuente in Geneva when we developed the first collaboration with Hublot watches.
Uh-huh.
So
So
this is because if you want to get that part, you have to uh, go back a little bit, and how I make a little, I think is important because
yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the history of how you met
yeah,
Carlito. But before we get there, I just wanted to get this little bit out the way, right? So you develop about 5 different watches for Hublot. This is the set right here of some of them that are out, and it basically shows again with the whole 20th year, right? So as you can see, the theme of the show now, right? So these watches were absolutely amazing. They're actually some of the top sellers. They actually made it to Forbes magazine. So I commend you for that, because that was one of those things that was like a big turning point for the cigar industry, because not only working with that company, you helped change cigar just not from being one industry but all industries,
Yes.
which was dope. You know. So now, how did you meet Carlito?
okay, after working with several company of cigar, doing design and doing photograph, majority photography. So they have a guy that named Michael Burns. Is owner of the Selecta magazine. Selecta magazine is the 30, almost 40 years in the market. So covering the luxury side of the Latinos in Florida State and United States. And this guy fell in love with my photograph of cigar boxes. So one day he called me. I took some shots to an article that he gonna wrote. After that, he is one of the best friend of Carlito Fuente and one of the best friend of Arturo Sandoval. So he told me, Manny, you have to meet Carlito, you have to work with Carlito, you have to help Carlito because Sayus is my best friend. He need a fresh air. He need a fresh input, like you doing now. So this is a bridge. He was a bridge between Carlito and myself. Okay, but in the same level of time, I always doing a IPCPR show in Vegas. So always I see Carlito. I see Carlito walking around. Um, I always, one time I approached him with Cynthia. I have a gift for him. It's a frame, photograph frame. But this guy was the guy that introduced me him officially in Miami, right here in Miami. So we get together. He knows some jobs that I did in the industry. But remember, it's Carlito Fuente. Is very jealous about everything. He was very, very possessive of his what he do. And the first question that he asked me is, so my background. So how many company? What do you do? Always he's congratulate me. Always he's give me to the best wishes in my life and my career. And after that, we started getting together, have a dinner, cigars, no work, right? No jobs. We still like this like a couple years. Unfortunately, it's like a getting. He wanted me, my friends, my family. He wanted me where I live. This is the process that Carlito is. And one day, I asked him, you know what? I want to do something for you because he always run the same ad in the magazine, the iconic pictures, right?
Yeah.
always, years and years and years. And I say, listen, I don't want to change nothing, but I would like to do something, and I show you. If you like it, you like it. If not, it's okay. So he sent me, he sent me, Jeremy, he sent me like a $10,000 in cigar from Tampa.
Wow.
Boxes, tin, all the boxes, all the shapes. All. When I received this in my house, I call him. I said, listen, what is this? This is, if you want to do something with my brand, you have to have everything. In photography side, you have to have everything. So it was a very challenging for me, a very strong challenge that I had. So I spent like a 15 days walking around the products, doing some tests, chats, lights, and after that, he went to my house again and see the result. So I think the first time in the history of the company they changed the ad was because myself, because me. So this is a greatest one. This is was the first greatest accomplishment. Change the ad, change the vision of Carlito in publicity.
Yeah, and with that began a new era, a new style, a new grace, I would call it, of advertising for Arturo Fuente cigars. So, which makes you an integral part of Arturo Fuente cigars. And the reason I wanted to get that moment in time is because people always see now. They see where you're at now, right? Because now you are OpusX Society by Manny Iriarte and all this stuff, and they're like, "Oh man, he's hooked up," but they don't see the humble beginnings. They don't see the struggles. They don't see you and Roy sitting in the back in the pool having a cigar together, trying to imagine what could be, right? And then
At one point, excuse me that I interrupt you. At one point, I have more than 25 cigar magazine ads made by myself for different companies. Art Briley, Oliva, Padron, my father, mentioned. So this is a process of training. Remember that.
yeah,
Do that with those companies. It's a training process. If without that, I can't accomplish this.
yeah.
It's impossible. Okay, without being with Roy, almost coaching me in Roy was a guy that's coaching me always in how I located in United States war in English language, how the Anglo American people think about it, right? So he always helped me in the slogan, in the tagline of the ads, because I always we do it now too. This is we do it now too, the same.
Yeah.
So this is a long process of sacrifice, a lot of traveling, a lot of nights, midnights. So it's not. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
I want to put this on the screen right here. Manny Iriarte, right? This picture right here, this one right here is one of my absolute favorites.
Yes.
The time that I got the opportunity to talk to you about this, because I wanted to understand why you put that the color of the sky. And,
No, the thing. No. I want to turn it through, Jeremy. This picture is. I wasn't took it. This picture is a collage collaboration with Enrico. Always I forget the last name. That guy was the best friend of Carlito. He made that long time. Talking about I don't know, 30 years ago. Probably no, I didn't land in United States. Yeah, this is iconic. This this is the most iconic cigar photography in the world.
And I understand that, but the reason I bring the picture up, right? Because, and I'm glad you mentioned him, right? Because this picture, right, is one of the ones that we, like, me and you personally, had a conversation about. That's why I bring it up,
Yeah.
because we were in Cuenca Cigars. They
Yeah.
have that picture on the wall, and I was asking you because in order for you to take over a the presence of a company and to develop the presence of the company, you have to understand the history of the company, right? And you saw how you jumped right there and you started telling me the history.
You remember, right?
I remember that day, and that's what I wanted here on the show, because I want to show people that it's not about, oh, what you can do, it's about what you understand, right? Roy said, and I'm gonna quote it exactly because I want to get it right. Roy says, if well, he would always tell his he would want his future self to tell his past self, if he could go back in time, he'd said he'd listen more and talk less, right? So my goal today is to listen, because I'm a student in the game, and I'm by no means at the level I want to be, but one day I will work to accomplish that. But in the meantime, I have to honor the great people who are walking this earth, who have made this industry what it is, and I have to give them the flowers while they're alive, right? So that's why every chance I get a conversation with you, I cherish it, because it's everything that you accomplish and you put together. It's every moment that you take in. You never take anything for granted. Even the relationship you have with your son. Eric Espinosa says it best. He says, I judge a man by the way he raises his kids. And and your kid, Camilo, who is one of my greatest friends.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
amazing job with him, right?
Yeah.
And I would go sit with him at El Galan almost every day, and we just sit there for hours, and we not only talk about how he grew up, but we talk about you. We talk about,
Jeremy, I know you because Camilo.
yeah,
I know about you because Camilo. And Camilo, you was the guy that when he was in Miami, you was once his favorite top 5 guys. The entire so this mean a lot for me. Okay, so turning back to what is your main point? So you don't accomplish nothing in life if you don't go deep, if you don't go to the main thing of whatever. If you want to be a good painter, if you want to be a good plumbing guy, you have to love, you have to understand, you have to go deep, everything in that field. Okay, so in photography, it's the same. In photography, in designs, in visualize things, you have to go to the main thing. That picture that you show me, if when you go one day to Chateau de la Fuente or Dominican Republic, and you see the factory, you see the farm, you see everything, you're gonna see. For that reason, Fuente is Fuente, because this is a lot of shit behind. A lot, 112 years of company. Okay, talking about, you have to learn about his tears. You have to learn about his sweating. He has to learn when he talk, or when the family or the old man Don Carlos, when he talking to me, that he didn't talk a lot to me because we don't always separate circumstance. But when you see, you spend almost 10, 12 years next to Carlito and flying with him, staying with him in a hotel, events, congressional things, different countries, different states, events, speeches, but and the bad side of the personal side of him, good side, everything with him, you see, okay, that company is the company because this. Okay, no one, Jeremy, no one uh, can understand how Fuente is in the place that he is now, or the company, until you learn about the history. In the process, listen up, just to come out with something. In the process of the company recruiting people to work with them, they didn't talk about money. They didn't talk about sale. Zero. You want to do a presentation of the company? You have to swallow the pill. If you don't qualify with that, you don't work with us. So you have to be first a human being. You have to be first that you understand the 112 years of the company. You are be able to digest what the family is.
Yeah.
It's not like a regular sale people or rep people that's he's thinking in make more money, how we sell that, I spend a lot of hours, a lot of years in the meetings with him and with the new guys, right? And the new guys never receive any information about selling. So this is unique. It's unique the way that Fuente do things. Is very unique. So like a Fuente do, we have to do the same in every scene. You, I don't want to. I don't know. It's my turn talking about you.
wait. We got a few minutes.
But when I saw you, that passion with every single detail in every single shot, all the camera the way that you hold the camera, the all the time that you took it for do everything, and you talk about you work, you're gonna be successful. You have to be successful. It's no, it's no more, it's no error in that. Okay.
Thank you, man. But man.
right,
So yeah, I'm all right.
You all right?
I'm
Man,
okay.
man, I'm gonna tell you something. For you to tell JB that, trust me, it's the world to him. You know, because I see him practically almost day in, day out, and I see how hard he works and how attention to detail he is. And I tell him all the time, he's like, man, you are amazing, right?
Listen,
And
I
just being
follow him.
and just being around him is like a blessing
You
in
have to
disguise.
no,
Right?
you have to absorb it. You don't have to. You don't have more choices to absorb his
Yes.
energy.
Yes.
It's like that. It's easy. Okay,
Yes.
you have to absorb because all the coin, the car, the Guayabera, all the editing process that he do with everything. So I know what is that.
Mm.
Maybe another people know, but I know what is that.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what is how to do prepare to go to the show, to the event. What combination of color, what people want to think about it. If you match this with this, everything. This professional. The name is Professional Things. So I know what are you talking about, brother. I know. I'm very honored that we are here in this show first time. You know, Jeremiah, that's I always because Roy know better than know anybody that I can do two things at the same time. I had to do one very well. So sometimes I call disconnected, but I know who you are. I know who you are. And for that reason, I'm here. It's easy.
Thank you for that, man. So there's so much to unpack when it comes to you, but now what happened is and because I want to get to Roy as well, so I'm gonna quickly skim over some things here.
I'm
Right?
excited to hear Roy too.
Yeah. So we have this here. We have the old school 100-year perseverance, passion, passion, family, and love. Right. This shows the different history of Fuente, the way it built, father and son team, and it shows the original factory, Tampa Sweethearts. Like so, this has a lot of meaning and to unpack in one photo. See, me and you, I know the one thing I enjoy about like looking at a photo like this is because me and you will go down to nitty gritty detail about, oh, what leaf is he holding, what's in the background, what's on the table, who are the gentlemen, who's the ladies, who's standing up, who's holding tobacco. You know, why did you pick the particular cigars to go with that photograph? You know, everything has its significance, and that's what I enjoy about what you do. So when it comes to items, you know, these collector items that everybody go after, and they try to get a piece of. You know, this has been a true mechanism. You've worked with everybody, Hugh Blue, SD. I mean, I could name companies that go on and on for hours, but we don't have the amount of time for the show for that. So what I'm going to talk about now is two things. Number one, I love this shirt, right? That's one of my
Oh
favorite
my
shirts,
God.
Oh yes.
right? Because you could see the camera that's in that picture, you know, on wings, because that's basically how you had to carry that camera to make sure that it worked properly. And you know, and it's a lion's heart. So there's a lot to unpack in that photo, right? And then the fact that you know you always sign your work, right? So that's why you see that signature on the back there, right? And I actually have Manny's cards, both of them. I have both, and one of them is actually I'm probably one of the only people that asked Manny to sign his card for me. Is the little skinny card with the rounded corners that's hard plated that I keep in my office
Yes.
that I look
Appreciate
at,
it.
right?
Appreciate it.
So now we come to a time where we go into this right here,
Mhm.
right? So now this is where humble beginnings becomes how can I put it? This is um where the myth meets the legend, right? So Manny Iriarte has always been a legend, right? But now he's creating a folklore for generations to come to try to uh, pass on the story, because it's going to be a lot to unpack. I'm only going to be able to do a small portion of it today. Maybe one day we'll get a part two or a part three, but it took us, even me and Chris, it took us a long time, even to set this up, to get to this level that we're at now. And that's why we were kind of slow on doing our interviews, and we were very meticulous in calculating on who we brought on at different schedules. And I think this happened by chance, because I was gonna interview Roy, and then Roy said, "You know what? I have to talk to Manny." And then all of a sudden, then you know, now we got Manny, so I had to prepare three times as hard. But tell me about the OpusX Society and how that developed and came about.
Uh, Fuente de OpusX Society, born in 2013. So a lot of people don't know that. It's 2013. I came out with the OpusX Society concept. Uh, in that time, we were developing the first Hublot watches. So Carlito loved it, the family loved it, but it was the right time. It was the right time, 2013, 2014, because Opus was strong, not strong like now. It was strong because Hublot watches, some international brand approaching him to collaborate, and I just came out with that idea that's made leather goods, briefcases, a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
So 2017, almost 7 years later, I talked to Carlito again, and after I developed a lot of things for Opus X, the 20 years, 25 years, all the watches, Carlito told me this is the time to do it. This is the time to do it in 2019. So I, I finally one of my dreams started coming true, and I have a vision. Some people say that I have a talent, but the project like this doesn't build with myself alone. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to have the right people. We need to have a right mentally to organize my ideas, organize my how visualize the future. So I after that, when I present the entire new project, refresh, Carlito love it, but he know me very well, and he know that I can create a beautiful thing very fast, but sometimes I'm not very organized myself. So I call an old friend saying time of friendship of Roy is David Levy. I call him. He's a very vast experience in administration side, right? Administration, how put everything together, organize numbers, accounting. This is very important in this project. So now I have a balance to someone control and organize my thought, right? So with those two pieces together, I present to Carlito, and Carlito told me now, because Carlito know David same time as me myself. This has helped a lot. When I present to him both us, he told me now I'm confident because I know very well David. So we started only two people. We started fighting with the war. After 3 weeks, COVID-19 arrived. So we almost been 2 years sit down the new warehouse, new office. Imagine that. With nothing, just talking about the future, talking about the future. But the good thing of that, the good thing of COVID, and that's 2 years of off, was that we have a time to have a research to find new developer, new manufacturers. That's very important because everybody know that China have a control of a lot of percent of everything right here, right? But we have a time to connect with Spain, France. We had to connect with Colombia. That time that we spent with the COVID was priceless, priceless. Now our company, we started like a 90% China, 10% another countries. Now it's invert, it's opposite. So we are very happy with that. We do with China very few things only. So after that, we went to the PCA last year, first time. So we do before the PCA. We call some several magazine, blogs, publication to announce. We announced the Manny Iriarte Enterprise born in Miami, and we announced that we're gonna participate in the PCA. We didn't have the tools. We didn't have that power of sources, a lot of propaganda. So we just walking every day. At the show was a totally success, totally success. I lost my voice. I had to sell. I had to do everything like Davey. So it was crazy. Was crazy, an extremely successful show. And when we were back to the show, we like in shock, right? And always I have a vision of people who working with me, right? But like Roy told me, Roy know my career from the day one, right? But Roy have his career, his empire that he built himself.
Yes, sir.
So I always say this guy is passionate about me. He had drive like me. He have an eye for photography. He know every single design that I did, but he's very far from me.
Yeah, Roy actually worked with Conifer Insurance, right? So this is beautiful. This is our segue. So Roy had an opportunity to work with Conifer Insurance. He went down to go on vacation, decided to visit you. Obviously, the visit went sideways. He ended up you guys were supposed to have lunch, and he was supposed to be a few minutes, but it lasted a few hours. All right. So Roy, tell us a little bit about that.
Man, I remember that day so well. Just like I remember the first day that Manny brought out that T-shirt you guys brought out. All this stuff has brought a smile to my face. That day was supposed to be a vacation for me that was much needed. I've been working for this company for such a long time, and I had like a month time off. And I said, we're going to go see the folks. I want to go see my son living in Texas. That's kind of hard. I don't fly, as you guys know that. So. Yeah, I went down to Miami, and I told Manny, I said, listen, I've seen what you've done from afar. I haven't seen you in such a long time. I want to see you. I want to spend some time with you. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, doesn't matter to me. Let's make it happen. So he reached out to me. I think it was Manny, a Monday, I believe. And I got there, and I think I got there at 9 o'clock in the morning. We ended up leaving close to 7 o'clock. I don't remember. It was late. And that conversation went sideways. I went there to see him, see how he was doing. And I get this a lot from my son. I'm into movie references. So his office is really cool. It's on the top level of a warehouse place. And I grabbed onto the bars looking over the warehouse. And I said, Manny, you guys are going to need a bigger boat. And the reason why I said that, and it wasn't because of me, I had no clue that this was going to happen. It was because of him. This guy's drive, and he sounds extremely humble and all that stuff. This guy is his creativity, his drive is unparalleled. And there's very few people, and I've met and talked and worked with so many people in my life. There's very few people with all of those things put together. The passion to me means everything. And this guy's got passion multiplied on steroids. I mean, this guy's very passionate, and his vision is unbelievable. And when it comes to me, there's certain things in this life that I'm very passionate about. Cigars is one of them. And Manny's work is another one. And I was very passionate from afar, not being part of it. So the mere fact that I was thrown a hypothetical, fellas, that day, it caught me by surprise. And I didn't know what to say on the spot. I think that they had no idea that I was going to respond the way I did, because I was working in insurance my whole life since I was 18 years old. And there was no plans on doing anything else in my life. I was going to retire with Conifer. I love these guys. I grew up with these guys, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for them at today. But when it came to Manny, there's always a special place in my heart for him. He's known me to my core. One of the very few people that I can say that about. Jerome, you know, another one. Ray is another one that knows me to my core. But when they threw me that hypothetical, man, I was floored. And the first person I called when I left their office was my wife. And I said, babe, you're never going to believe what just happened to me. And this was asked of me, what do you think? And she just heard it in my voice. Because this is the way I am. You'll know if I'm passionate about something right away. And she goes, it looks like you've already made up your mind. And I was like, well, It all went back to the whole loyalty thing. So it took me a while. It took me, some time to think about it because it was a difference. But at the end of the day, honestly, I left there and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. It just took me a little bit of time to do it because saying goodbye to the guys I used to work with was excruciatingly painful, very difficult to do.
Yeah, you had to make about 4 phone calls that day.
Yes, two video calls and 2 phone calls. The first video call was very difficult. The second one was harder. The third phone call was more of a one-way thing, and the fourth also. But the first 2 were very, very, very difficult.
Yeah. But speaking of you, right? And now you jump on, you start working with the company, and then unbeknownst to you, you're supposed to go meet Carlito Fuente, and you do something crazy. You try to move something. What happened? Tell me about that.
The first day of the job, November 1st, I was helping my coworker with his bags in my car. And I was moving. I call our humidor the Beast. Every brick and mortar out there will tell you that I have a nickname for our humidors, and I call them the Beast. The 3 of them equally. I just went to move it in my car. My body went the direction to the left. My leg stayed behind, and I heard a pop. So I tore my right hamstring the first day of the job. And it happened in the parking lot of Manny Iriarte Enterprises. And I thought that at that particular moment, I was going to throw up. I was going to pass out. I started sweating. And I did not want to do that because it was the first day I met my coworker. And I'm like, I'm not about to punk out in front of this guy. Yeah. So I took a couple deep breaths and I just went for it. I got in my car. It was, man, I've had some pains in my life, but this one was pretty significant. And yes, I found out that day we were meeting Carlitos. Now, I had met Carlitos before, so this wasn't like, but it's still Carlitos. I mean, this,
yeah,
it's interesting. So that night it started getting worse. Manny comes pick me up at the hotel, and I walk out very gingerly. I'll never forget his face. And he looks at me, he rolls down the window and he goes, "What?" And I'm like, I don't know, man. I think I tore a muscle in my right leg. And he's like freaking out because I can barely walk. Forget about tying my shoe, putting on my right sock wasn't happening. So I had to swallow a lot. We did go meet Carlitos that night. We were there, Manny, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we were there about 1 o'clock in the morning. Manny wanted to take me to the emergency room when we left because I had a ball. I would say like a little bit bigger than a softball coming out of my right leg. And I told Manny, no, I'm not going to the hospital.
Yeah, because you made a promise. You made a promise actually to somebody else as well that you were going to do something, right?
Yes. You want me to tell you that story?
Yeah.
So I made a promise to a brick and mortar that I met at Jay Davis's place in Dallas, who's one of our esteemed members of the Fuente OpusX Society, and I love him to death. I was there. This was before the torn hamstring, and another brick and mortar from Louisiana came in, friends of his, and like I do with everybody, like I do with patrons, because I love engaging with patrons. I thought they were patrons. So I started engaging these guys with literally, I believe it was the Hemingway cutter and the Hemingway light. That's all I had on me. I engaged them. I started telling them who we were. And fellas, just like that, I think it was a matter of 20, 25 minutes, they became a member of the Fuente OpusX Society. And I said, look, I promise you guys, I'm going to Miami, to start the thing. And then on the way back, I promise you, since I don't fly, I am going to pass by. Unbeknownst to me, I was going to tear my hamstring. It's very typical for me, and Manny knows this, when I leave anywhere, I typically wake up like at 4 o'clock in the morning, and by 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm driving out of wherever I am. And that's exactly what happened here. Without fail, I left Miami at 5 o'clock in the morning with my hamstring. I drove all the way to Louisiana, and without stopping. And I told him, do not close your door. I'm going. I'm going to be there. He did not know what happened to me. If he did, I promise you, he would have told me not to go. I showed up. I think he was 15 minutes after he had closed. He opened up the door for me, and I was there until 1 something in the morning smoking. I believe it was an Opus Blue that he gave me. And he didn't find out until the end that I had a torn hamstring. And I hadn't eaten that night either. So when I left there, I went to my hotel, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, got up and drove all the way to Texas.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So
that little,
wow, that is amazing. I mean,
that little history, JB, it's like a show what what kind of guy is that.
Yeah.
Okay, he spent like 2-3 hours talking with Carlito in Cuenca. The night before, right? And Carlito was joking, you know him. Carlito was, and Roy was in pain the entire night. So it wasn't him. It wasn't him. But he didn't know, nobody know that he's in pain. It was myself. I called 911. Fuck that shit.
I went inside. We were fine when we were outside. It started raining. We went inside, and where I was sitting, the chair, like right now, you're sitting on a chair. The border of the chair was right on where I tore my hamstring. So I kept changing positions, throughout the whole night. But I never complained once. And when I got off of my chair and I saw my leg, I was like, oh my God. I got a softball and a half coming out of my right leg. I still didn't go to the doctor. I kept going. And I had to go back to Miami again after this trip to do an event. I forgot which one it was. And the physical therapist said, yeah, this is torn. We can help you fix it. You won't need surgery, but surgery is an option. And I said, no, surgery is not an option. Let's do this. Let's fix it. So if anybody knows me, and Manny knows me, I don't like to ask for help for anything. Asking my wife to help me put on my sock and my shoe, that was a mission. But I told her I was going to physical therapy 3 times a week to get this thing well enough so I can drive back to Miami. And I think it was the Sabor Habana event that we did. And I was standing the whole time. I didn't sit down. It's just the way I am, man. I'm like this 24/7. Same clothes I wake up with in the morning. I don't take them off until I'm ready to go to sleep.
Wow, that is commitment.
Yeah.
If Manny calls me at 11 o'clock at night and he wants to talk about something, I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wow. I can. Okay, Roy is a priceless pillar of this company, and it's a bless that he came aboard. As part of that, he have a good friendship with me and with Dave. It's priceless we have in the team. And the same I want to say with David Levy. David Levy, without him, it's impossible. I told you the story of the beginner, the Carlito trust in my vision 100%. But without David Levy, that dream wasn't come true. Yeah. So he is one of my best friend too. He is one of my best support in not only the work, is in the personal side of my life. He is amazing. So now we are three old friends. We're gonna call like this, old friends that get together and every day try to group up a little more and more. Now have Belkis, it's amazing woman. So, but the best is yet to come.
Young lady that Roy stole from another industry and brought over because of her tenacity. You guys scout skill sets. You guys just and what happened is, and I understand why you do it. is because if something is instilled from you with the company that you're working for, the company that you love, you want to keep that tradition, right? So then you're going to take all of that same influence, that the toolage that they gave you, and you're going to apply it to what you tend to want to do, right? So being the fact that I had the opportunity to grow around people like you, Roy, I was always heard of you, but it's one of the few times that I get to have a long conversation with you, and eventually we'll have one in person. But these are the experiences, these are the stories that you hear, the myths, as I call them, right? That you hear, and you're like, bro, that is like one of them in a million. And then you guys did it 3 times over, and now it's about to be 4 times over, which is truly amazing, right? Roy, you actually had a birthday February 6th, and then usually you would spend your birthday, get a phone call from your father, but your father couldn't supply that phone call, right? And you had somebody very special call on his behalf. Who was that person, and what did it mean to you?
Oh, you had to ask me this question, man. This question is always tough, and hopefully I'll keep it together because I've been keeping it together of late. When it comes to my father, everything that I am, and I'm going to say this till the day I die, everything that I am, personality, sales, man, period. Just the word man is my dad, 100%. Every year on my birthday, my father was my first call. He would be the first one to call me 7 o'clock in the morning, man, like clockwork. This year, my birthday, just like Father's Day, you think about these things and it gets a little harder. So my wife, who's probably without question one of the closest persons to me right now, and knows me also to my core, and one of the persons I enjoy smoking cigars, despite the fact that she doesn't smoke cigars, but she loves the smell. I was out in our old house smoking a cigar with her, and we were having a troubled conversation because we had to move from Fort Worth, and it was kind of abrupt. We didn't know it was going to happen, and it was a bad timing. So we were having kind of like a very interesting conversation, very emotional conversation, and I get a phone call. And when I look at the caller ID, my jaw kind of hit the floor, and that phone call was from Carlito Fuente, and I freaked out. I didn't know how to pick up the phone. I didn't know how to answer the phone. So I got a little nervous. And again, I've spent some time with him recently, our Christmas dinner and that day in Hollywood. So I'm like, this is just Carlitos, just pick up the damn phone, Roy. So I pick up the phone and he goes, Papo, happy birthday. And I'm like, my jaw still drops. So I tell him, Carlitos, you're calling me on my birthday? He goes, of course, Papa, how you doing? But it was so loud, so loud. So I went and I turned my phone over and I went to lower the volume and the guy was on FaceTime. I'm like,
yeah.
Wait a minute, you're calling me on FaceTime? He goes, there you are, Papa, you look so, I'll never forget what he said. There you are, Papa, you look so good. I'm like, look, I'm getting the goosebumps. You're calling me on FaceTime? This is all I was saying. I was like, I can't believe this. And then finally I chill out because, it's Carlitos, right? I'm flattered. I'm going bonkers. I'm like, you're never going to believe what I'm smoking. And he goes, you're smoking a Fuente. And I'm like, of course I'm smoking a Fuente. But look at what I'm smoking. And I was smoking Amor Desierto, the Opus Dubai, which is mind-boggling cigar. And I loved it. And he goes, look what all I do is smoke Fuente cigars. That's all I do. And then that day he's calling me and I happen to be smoking a Fuente cigar. It was one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me in my life. And it kind of changed my demeanor the rest of the day. And he put a smile on my face, man, that's going to be very difficult to erase. So anyway, yeah, that was the story on my birthday. So
now, right, you guys have been, so you guys went 360, right? So now we're at the 360, right? You started in the beginning together, right? Where your wives knew each other, they introduced you guys started becoming friends. You both did photography and everything like that. You went on your career path. Manny went on his. and then here you come full circle, and now you guys are back together again, right? And you're in another industry, and you guys are working together side by side, hand in hand. You know why I love that story? Because that's the story of me and Chris, right? So me and Chris, like we worked together in when I was doing fish tanks. I used to do like large fish tanks in commercial buildings and stuff. And I would basically try to recreate what God had put on this earth, on a mini scale. Like who wants to play with salt water and electricity at the same time? You know what I mean? You got to be crazy, right? So I decided to go into there, did that, and then I called Chris. We meet on a job, and I'm like, man, you got some skills, man. And he goes, you think so? I go, yeah, bro, you got skills, man. I said, don't ever doubt yourself, man, because I'm never gonna doubt you. And then I told him, I said, dude, one day, bro, we're gonna do something together, and we're never gonna look back. And here we are.
And here we are.
So, fucking love you, bro.
Love you, brother. Yeah, man. He's
So yeah, man. But there's something you told yourself, right? Something you would tell yourself 5 years from now, right? You said that you would tell yourself to have more fun, right? I think you're doing it. And I understand we all have self doubt. We're under the belief system that we are not at the level we're supposed to be as of yet. But guess what? Like they always say, the night is still young, right? And we have the ability to continue growing. We have the ability to continue processing and to continue creating. That's why I got into challenge coins. So it's official time to do our coin check. So
yes, sir.
Iconic Smoker, check it in. Manny, you got a coin. I know you got a coin. You got my original coin because I have a picture of you and your wife, and you're holding the coin like this. You don't have it on. You have the original coin.
No, I don't have that one.
No, you don't have this one. You have this one, Manny.
Yes, sir.
You have this.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
There was only 100 of these ever made.
You told me that.
Yeah, and this one I will never reproduce. I will never recreate. This is my first original coin. This went to the people who believed in me from the beginning, and you were one of those people, and that's why you have one of those.
Thank you.
Right?
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
You both get another coin for being on the show. I'll give it to you when I see you guys. There's an interview coin that we give out. Usually we reserve it for when you do an in-person show with us. But in this case, for the honors of the nostalgia that you presented to us today, you both will be receiving a interview coin from us, which is this one right here. So, well, Roy, I know you're coming back to Miami. You'll be here like every other weekend, coming soon, anyways, sometime down the line. So I will definitely make sure that we meet in person to have it. Now,
thank you, fellas.
This is the part where we open up and anybody can ask anybody a question. So this is where you guys can ask each other something that you've never gotten an opportunity to. You can ask us something. You can say something. This is an open floor at this time.
Wow.
That's cool. That's cool. I want to mention something that I see when I meet JB. He have the drive to become a successful in whatever he decides. I saw in his eyes that blow, that drive to do things with times, no rush, perfectly determined, perfectly thinking before planning. And this is before we close the show, I would like to express that you are that kind of the individual that's remind me when I started, right? When I started, that's everything was important, everything. Okay, whatever brand name, whatever family members, whatever items, cigars, boxes. People, maybe people told me now that I smoke Fuente, I do this, I prefer this, that. But when I started, every single brand of cigar was a king for me. Every single cigar that I smoke and work with was important for me. Every single travel, every single factory that I visit, every single farm that I visit was an extremely important for me. I try to learn, I try to catch, listen every single manufacturer. I have a privilege to photograph the main old men's talking about, I don't know, Orlando Padron. I'm talking about Jose Oliva, the old men that's now they are in another dimension. But I have the chance to, of course, with cigars now give me that opportunity, Eric. But I try to learn every single trip, every single detail of the process. So I remind me you when you started, you do the video, when you do the photograph of my birthday, 50th birthday, all the passion, all the concentration, all the drive that you. This is almost people can notice that. Few people can notice that. People that's passed through that before, right? So this is this is the only I wanna say.
Oh man, you know what? I have one thing for that, and so that is a round of applause because you know I always tell people, man, it's the hard work, the determination, and the resiliency. You have to have all three. You know, uh, success without integrity is failure, right? So you have to put your all into everything that you do, and you have to give your all to every person that you meet because the one person can change their life without you even knowing it. Just because you had a conversation with them, just because you took 5 minutes, just because you accepted something or went out your way to say something. We don't understand how much people appreciate our time because that's the only thing you can't buy. You can never buy time, right? You know, we're growing old. You know, we don't know how many days we have left, and so if we have the opportunity to do our best and put our best foot forward, we need to do it every day, and every day we need to do it with passion, right? So I truly appreciate both of you guys because and I know we didn't get into uh, everything that you guys do now, right? But what happened is you can't talk about the present if you don't understand the past, because
Absolutely.
and what did I tell you earlier? What was the statement I told you earlier?
Oh man, really? You gonna ask me that now?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you now.
Oh man, yeah. One of the things he JB actually mentioned to me was that everybody has a story, and in that story will determine. Tell me your story, and I'll tell you
What type of man you
what
are?
type of person you are, and that really hit home for me, you know, as well. I bet for him and as many people, and 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 it's always a question that's like there now within the back of my head. That's like, okay, like what's my story? What's another person's story that really defines them? I know Manny's a visionary. DB's a visionary as well. I mean, whatever. This is just all family. I mean, really. I mean, I know all the cigars. Drinking. Everything's fine. But at the end of the day, this is all, a brotherhood, a sisterhood, everything, right? And I love it, brother. Oh,
That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
See,
That's real shit. That's real man. Okay, that's real friendship.
yeah,
Okay,
man.
that's real shit.
You you
That's cool,
you
bro.
you have to you have to put people around you. They don't have to have your same skill set. They don't have to be everything that you are, right?
I
Because
wanna
what
talk.
happens? Go
I
ahead.
wanna take I wanna take the chance to give it to you. I don't know. You know very well what I'm talking about. Every single you do, JB, do with passion, and every single job that you do claim always respect. Always. You do 5 minutes, you do 2 hours, claim respect. And the job that you do has to be recognized in some level. People that don't have the knowledge to recognize deepest side of the job, but with respect. Respect. This is the most important word. Okay, so you have to claim all the time. Any single photograph, any single video, and every single thing that you do, people have to know that you did it, and you have to claim that, and people have to learn to respect you. Maybe you are a little one or a bigger one. I know what you you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 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 man. I definitely do. I gotta put your guys' website on the bottom so everybody can see it. It's on the ticker at the bottom. So if
Yes,
you
sir.
have not seen their website, go there, check it out because they're doing something incredible. This is definitely one of the longest shows that we've done, but it had to be done. Reason being is because um, we have some incredible people here, right?
Yep.
So, Roy, I promised you something at the beginning. There was a photo that I said I would show. So here
Oh,
it
boy.
is.
That is awesome.
This is Manny Iriarte meeting Rick Ross at IPCPR. And what happened is the reason this photo was important to me is because Rick Ross came there and he came there for one thing and one thing only. He wanted a red ashtray. And there was only one red ashtray that I could trust and that I knew that he would like and enjoy and cherish. And then so I took him to that booth and and he got to meet Manny and then he got his red ashtray. And
That's awesome.
so the people that know, you know what I mean. But that was one of those experiences, and yeah, I did have the opportunity. Manny gave me an opportunity like no other. Right on his 50th birthday of all birthdays, this guy works with everybody, every type of magazine, every single artist, every single. I mean, anybody who has an accolade has worked with Manny Iriarte. But Manny did something for me that I'll never forget, and I hope to do it for somebody else someday as well. On Manny's 50th birthday, Manny gave me the opportunity to photograph and video his event and capture his moments so he can cherish those memories for himself. And, I definitely, one of the hardest jobs I had to do being the fact that, how do you capture somebody that you appreciate? How do you put them in a light where they can see themselves how you see them? So it was definitely one of those challenges for me. Uh, and I still have all those pictures. It's one of my favorite Rolodex of photographs and videos that I've done. Even to this day, I haven't edited every single one because I mean, the good thing about photographers is that we capture the moment and the essence of the moment, right? So every time you see a photo, you know exactly what happened in that moment. The fact that even when Manny was on stage and his wife went up there with him, and he gave a beautiful a speech, and what happened is it's crazy how uh, the manner in which he gave the speech was in Spanish, but even the people who didn't speak Spanish understood what he was saying because you can feel what was exhuming from his body, and those are moments that I try to capture not only for Manny, but that's what I try to capture every time I take a picture of somebody because I know that that moment is fleeting, right? It's gonna go, it's gonna disappear, right? So if I can get a single shot to show what you felt in that moment, so you can live in that time frame when you look at that photo, then I think I've done my job. Like Manny, I don't just consider myself a photographer. I'm an artist, and I'm just trying to paint my canvas.
Keep doing that, brother.
My brother is Roy told me about this program. I know the program, but I was so crazy busy. We going to San Antonio next week, have a event right there in San Antonio. It's 2 days trip for me, and we are very busy planning every Circuito PCA 2022. So every day is a new thing, it's 100 things at the same time. And this night, tonight, is very special for me. And I received a lot of interview. I didn't receive a lot of Zoom call, Zoom like this. I very new in that. But this one, would never forget. We never forget because the first, you are two guys that speak with your heart, very transparent. So this is for me, is the most important. Maybe I'm on the show that everything is very famous or very uh, spread out, but like this, you feel like in your house, you feel like in your home with friends smoking like that. If you want to capture that feeling, you capture it very well. Okay, and this is iconic smokers is have to have a tag, have to be a seal, and you try to never lose that seal, that speak with the heart with people, even if it's a famous people, even if it's whatever. You know what? This is very important. Okay, so for me, it's an iconic night. It's an iconic night that be with you guys right here. It's easy.
Absolutely, 100%.
So, gentlemen, how can besides the website that's on the ticker in the bottom, how can these lovely folks find you? Instagram.
Well, you can there. We can go. Each one of us has our own Instagram, our website. As you're proudly displaying down there is a place where you can go. Our main priority right now, fellas, is the brick and mortar. We are 100% dedicated to the brick and mortar, and their success is very important to us.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because you are world famous at what you do, right? And even though you're young in the company, you did something. You made 12 of 12, right? And
13.
you had it. Oh, I'm sorry, 13.
If we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, 13. I'm sorry, I said 12. I should have said 13. I have the video. I should have said 13, right? So you made 13. You had them signed, and then you went and before how many hours you sold 9 of them? Within 24 hours, you sold all of them?
No,
It wasn't hours. It was about 40 minutes while
Yeah,
I was
40
getting
minutes.
dressed
40 minutes.
to go from my hotel in the traffic of Miami to the event at the surf club, which was a very special night. Yeah, absolutely. And if I would have had about another 20 minutes, I would have sold all 13.
Yeah.
But it was about sharing the idea with 13 of our best brick and mortar, because I could have called just one or two of them and these guys would have gobbled them up. And no, I wanted the idea that was pitched was all the way down to like I'm used to seeing Manny do with everything and the packaging that we do, everything down to the greatest detail. I wanted this idea to be all the way down to the nitty gritty of, the start of this idea all the way through to the end. And I wanted 13 different brick and mortars to have these signed Don Carlos humidors, which it was so awesome. And very quickly, I know you guys got to go. This past week, Sunday, I think it was Wednesday, or I was in Grapevine, in one of the nicest, oldest shops, brick and mortar in Grapevine. Kenny, I walked in, and here's the guy who bought the humidor, and it's humidor number 7 of 13. And I happened to walk in unannounced. I didn't announce my visit. I just went, and I happened to walk in on the patron who bought the humidor, and he was like, it was like it all happened by accident, and everybody was like, "Yeah, you're the guy," and we took a picture with him, and I was very honored to meet the guy who actually bought it, because one thing that I love is to meet the patrons that actually get to hold and now carry one of our items, whichever one it is. It gets me very excited. And one thing is to do process one, getting it into the hands of the brick and mortar, which is priority number one. But when you're able to see it physically in the hands of the patrons that actually buy it, and this past Friday was another example, you get to meet people that actually buy the products, and they're so excited, and their vision when they open up their humidors and their lighters for the first time, it's amazing, man. And it's a high for me personally.
Yeah, but you guys celebrate everybody you sell to. You guys also post
without question. Everybody's important to us. Every
brick and mortar is the most important thing. Okay, the website, JB, is an information platform. Okay, it's a brochure platform. You can buy because you are very far. You don't have access to the store. You don't have access to the items. You can buy it, right? It's awesome. But being in the industry for more than 15 years, working with every single brand, now with Fuente family, brick and mortar is the most important thing. Mom and pop stores. This is our main priority.
Yes, sir. So the internet earlier was not working with us. I have no idea why. I mean, maybe it's because I guess our hard line was actually more excited than us to be on the show today. So, but I'm gonna see if I will try. If it doesn't work, we'll just end the show. I'm gonna try and see if this will play for me. Let's try it out. So it actually played on Facebook. They were able to see it on Facebook. It just didn't play for us here. But that is the one of the humidors that you guys have. There's one final picture that I get. I didn't. There's one final picture that I didn't get to show you, Manny, and Roy. You probably get a kick out of this if you could help me out, sir.
Sure,
if you could Vanna White me real quick. So this one I wasn't able to get it on the screen because it didn't fit because it's larger than life. So I put it on a shirt instead.
That's killer.
So we always talk about iconic smokers, and a lot of people always ask me, why did I choose the name Iconic Smokers? Because to me, every single person who takes the time to light a cigar is iconic. Yes, right. Sir. So you have to celebrate the individual, and you have to start from the consumer level. Why? Because you got the guy who only makes $6 an hour, $8 an hour, and then he saves up his check, and then part of his check goes to producing cash flow to those brick and mortars, who then produces cash flow for you guys to be able to do what you do. So without them, we would never be where we are. I mean, I'm gracious enough to be able to do this, to have a show, to be sponsored by several different companies, to be able to do this on a weekly basis when we're in town and we're not traveling to an event or whatever. So I would like to give a round of applause to the individuals who take the time each and every day to make a purchase, no matter what it is, as long as it's related to the cigar industry, whether it be cigars or cigar accessories, because you guys don't sell cigars, you sell the accessories. So round of applause for them. I again, honor is always great. So Manny, thank you so much for your time. Roy, thank you so much for your time.
Amazing, truly.
Right.
Thank you.
And Manny, if you could tell us what your work is, we'll end the show.
What do you say?
If you could tell us what your work is, you have that line. My work is my passion, my love,
and my salvation.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I have a question for you before you close the doors.
Okay. Yes.
when you gonna go to our office? Both.
When am I gonna? When are we gonna go to your office? I
prefer that Roy is right here in town, but you are.
This is what we'll do. We'll schedule it, right? So I'm one of those guys. I'm real reserved. I'm very humble, and my mom always taught me something. She said, "You never go somewhere you're not invited." Right. So the fact that you're inviting us, the fact that you're invited us, we'll make sure that we go and we visit the office, and we'll make sure that we're both available, and we can schedule it with Roy, because it'd be an honor to walk into the door with both of you guys. You know what I mean? Because just like you two build a legacy together, we're trying to build one together as well. So
you will.
So thank you so much. And I truly appreciate this. I mean, you guys don't know how much you guys instilled in us today. You even got this guy to cry.
Oh my goodness, that was horrible. Hey,
no, bro. You know what?
It's all about heart. I mean, come on, man.
Man. Yep.
It's amazing what this industry can do, guys. And always remember, I think everybody in this call has an abundance of it, is remember to keep your passion. Remember to surround yourself with the same folks that have the same drive and the same passion that you do. And I'll end up my thing by, you asked the question, what would you like to say to anybody on this panel? Obviously, I'm appreciative for you guys inviting us. Both we're very honored to be here. Thank you for giving us the platform to talk about the Fuente OpusX Society. We're very excited about this company. We're very excited about where it's going to go. I will say this, even the folks that have the most extraordinary passion, the ones that wake up in the morning with an abundance of drive, I'm one of those people, but I can tell you that even those people have their down days. And this guy here on the bottom of this screen, I don't know if he knows this, but he's going to know it tonight. When my days are not where I want them to be at the optimum level, the little time that I spent with him at his house or however much time I get to spend with him, his drive and his passion refuels mine. So if he didn't know that already, he knows it now. And he knows that I don't blow smoke up the patoot of anyone. And I speak it like it is. And he does that for me. And he does it quite often. Thank you guys for having us, man. You guys, I wish you the best of luck and keep up that passion, man. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Count on me and count on us for whatever you want.
Yeah, you got it, man. You got it. I truly appreciate you guys. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, guys. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. I do appreciate all the people who stuck around. You guys have made this a tremendous occasion for us. When we do our interviews, we intentionally select people who have a story, because that way you can understand that this is not a overnight success thing. Everybody who you saw today, from Manny Iriarte to Roy, they've not only worked their way to success, they've also had their failures and they failed their way to success. So you have to remember that, and you have to keep going and put pride in whatever it is that you do. So whether you are a mail lady like our favorite Leslie, Yeah, or whether you're a cigar salesman or anything, as long as you put passion in the daily basis and you know you're attentive to the people that you serve, you'll always be the best at what you do. On that note, we're gonna end the broadcast. I'd like to say one more time, thank you to Manny Iriarte and
Thank you.
Roy. We do highly, truly appreciate you guys. And this ashtray right here don't exist, but I'm putting it on the screen so you guys can see it. So you guys can see it right now. But one day in the future, it may come to fruition. And yeah. So best believe I'll be in line waiting at 3 o'clock, like it's Black Friday at Best Buy.
Yeah, man.
So just wanted to show that. But you guys have a great night, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one. Peace.